Hello folks. Looks like we've switched valleys. We've left the Treasure Valley of Idaho and now we've entered the Magic Valley. A little bit more east of the Treasure Valley, we're now in south central Idaho. This region of the Gem State has long, even before it was a state or a territory, played witness to many different iconic events in American history. Lewis and Clark passed by this place. So did thousands of caravans going along the Oregon Trail. And historically, this place has been a big agricultural community. Is this the start of where they make those world-famous potatoes, or is that a little further east? But today we are going to be discovering a great natural landmark of this region. It's a world-famous landmark. Just a few miles south of this world-famous natural attraction is this region of Idaho's largest city, a city of 51,000 people, and a city that's named after the beauty of the surrounding nature and the natural attraction, of course. This is Twin Falls, Idaho, as that little emblem suggests. So although we see in front of us a nice, pleasant mountain town, it's very nice, lots of local businesses around here, but the real highlight of today is what's not made by man, but what has been carved by nature. Let's check all of that out today in Twin Falls, Idaho. Wow, how incredible. As we talked about in Boise, the Snake River is very important to Idaho, the geography, the history, the culture. This has determined Idaho's place in the US. This river is at its greatest view, in my opinion, when we get to Twin Falls, because the Snake River forms a wide canyon formed from millions of years. I don't know if my dating is right. Maybe thousands, maybe tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years of erosion, weathering, has turned an otherwise flat landscape into a huge valley, canyon, whatever you want to call it. It's so large. Do you see those little colored boats? Teal, yellow. Everyone loves this Snake River today. Everyone's on it. When you have such an open view, it's hard to really grasp how far a distance is. Your eyes really deceive you. Are those small little canoes and boats really that small? Or are we just so far away that it's just hard to tell? The thousands upon thousands of gallons of water that passes through this Snake River Canyon means that the soils around it are going to be very fertile. For a long time, the area that is today known as Twin Falls was a great place to farm, at least if you were close enough to the river. Far out into the desert country, not so much, but it's still as fertile as ever around as close as you can get to the river. So fertile that golf courses have taken advantage of the endless amounts of water that pass through, and look at how green that grass is over there in the distance. Just be careful when you're playing over there, not to put your ball into the river. You might not ever get it back. That's a mulligan if you've ever seen one. But it's a beautiful view all around for miles and miles. There's even someone paragliding, or I don't know, did they just jump off? I didn't catch that. But this is the Perrine Bridge, It's sort of an iconic display of how man sort of tamed this area to his liking. And today this is the main way people get from the north side to the south side of the canyon. Okay, turns out they are jumping off. How incredible. What daredevils. We're going to be speaking more on daredevils towards the end. Well, it's quickly turned from a nice sunny day, a bit of clouds, to full-on thunderstorm, yeah. I often say, rain will not deter us, but is it different with a thunderstorm? Does it count? I don't know. You guys should be the ones to decide that, I guess. But it is pretty mild. We're not getting drenched here at this thunderstorm. There's a bit of lightning here and there, but overall, still a great day to visit Twin Falls, Idaho. You may hear a roaring sound of water, and I'm going to show you that. It's outside of the periphery, but it's such a sight. It's a pretty good one. Well, before the Snake River makes its gentle flow downstream, we find a huge waterfall. This is Shoshone Falls. Now, today in time, there's a bit of a mix-up with the naming conventions, right? The city is known as Twin Falls, yet this is Shoshone Falls. What happened? Shouldn't there be two twin identical falls? In the 1930s, there were some people who wanted to make a profit off of the power, the hydroelectric power that could be harvested from building a dam. Now the thing is with man-made projects like these hydroelectric dams, it's going to change the course of these rivers and watersheds. And in this case, it's going to deplete the water. Now there's only one major waterfall, Shoshone Falls. And all I can really say about that is, it's a damn shame. Get it? Because the dam was built. Okay, time for another view of this waterfall. Now we've been to plenty of waterfalls, Niagara Falls, Cumberland Falls. This is taller than Niagara Falls. It may not have the amount of water output, the amount of force from the waterfall, but in terms of height, this reigns supreme. You could consider this, Shoshone Falls, the Niagara of the West. I wonder what's louder, the sound of thunder roaring or the sound of the waterfall when you're really close up? Just an extraordinary, outstanding sight. This is Shoshone Falls, Niagara of the West, in all its glory. Now, with the immense size of that canyon behind us, how does the Snake River Canyon get so large? How did it become the monster it is right now? Well, Lake Bonneville was an ancient lake, tens and tens of thousands of years ago. It covered the size of mostly northwestern Utah, with a bit of Idaho and Nevada. And it was huge. It was much larger than the modern Great Salt Lake that Utah brags about. But it was huge, right? Around 11,000 years ago, rainfall and snowfall and lots of precipitation during that time caused a natural dam to break as a result of the lake level rising. So with hundreds and hundreds, thousands, maybe even millions of gallons rushing outside of the lake's perimeter, what happens is that the water's going to naturally cut through an otherwise small creek and create this amazing feature of Idaho's geography. Today's Shoshone Falls gets its name from the Shoshone people, who are still around in various parts of the West. They are a collection of various people with a shared culture, and they inhabited much of the Great Basin. And yeah, it's the Shoshone people, but Shoshone without the E sound falls. How weird is that? But that's just how naming conventions work sometimes. The Oregon Trail allowed ordinary people to see the vast interior of America for generally the first time in American history. And since you were on the road for months at a time, yeah, although your family's getting cholera and dying of diseases, you might as well enjoy the sights that you're blessed with. And so, this site, Shoshone Falls, and the Snake River Canyon was admired by so many caravans going west. The Oregon Trail in its own right made Shoshone Falls famous. Later on, people came west through Idaho, and numerous irrigation projects were started. And irrigation requires a lot of water. And so through these agricultural projects and canals being built, it dried up a lot of the existing flow of water. And that means what you see today probably is a lot less water flow than what historically could have been. And of course, waterfall ranges from season to season, year to year. Sometimes it can get very dry here on the Shoshone Falls, and barely any water falls through. The Snake River Canyon has long captivated people for its grand size, from the native Shoshone people to the first European fur trappers to the later American homesteaders to today's tourists. All of those people admired the grand size, the natural space of this Snake River Canyon. Therefore, lots of stunts have been performed. As we saw today, the base jumpers jumped off the Perrine Bridge, only to land safely with the help of a parachute. But there's one stunt that not only is probably the most noteworthy here in the Snake River Canyon, but also put Twin Falls, Idaho on the map. Now, this is no ordinary mound of earth and soil. Oh no. In the year 1974, famous stuntman Evel Knievel decided that since he wasn't able, he didn't get permission to jump over the Grand Canyon, he would instead jump over the Snake River Canyon. So he and his team built this giant mound, and he was all ready to set on a grand rocket-powered motorcycle journey up this mound and over the Snake River Canyon. Now, I don't know about you, but even with the momentum from this giant mound, I would probably choose not to risk my life and jump over this canyon for a nice thrill. However, Evel Knievel was a stuntman, therefore his job was to do risky, dangerous, dare I say stupid endeavors. Well, did he jump? He certainly did. So imagine you're Evel Knievel on that Sunday afternoon. The whole world is, well, maybe not the whole world, but all of America is watching for sure. And you're going up and up and up, goes the motorcycle, and you're at the top. And you're racing, this is what you see. Much faster because it's a rocket-powered motorcycle. And the Snake River Canyon's right in front of you. What are you thinking at that moment? You kind of got to just go for it, right? Well, he did, and he failed. Luckily, he survived, parachute deployed a little bit early, but at least he was alive. Although it was a failure, it was a massive success for Twin Falls, Idaho. Commercially, touristically, Oh, it put Twin Falls on the map, for sure. And this is where I leave all of you off. There we go. Twin Falls, Idaho, a great place, pleasant town, great natural sights. And this is almost the end of our Best of the Most West tour. Congratulations to us on the coverage project. 48 states, all of them of the lower 48. But I want to leave you off with one last message. We're having a 2-part grand finale in a place that demands 2 days. And that will be the end of the Best of the Most West tour. We've had a great journey, but until then, looking at the Snake River Canyon at the top of Evel Knievel's jump. More travels to come. I will see you at the next location.